Many thanks for joining us on the Value Chain TV News Update. I am S.A. Ufoma with the news. And on the Value Chain TV News Update, the Managing Director of Asa North Ohaji Gas Processing Company, Engineer Ifyong Okon, has said that there is no rich country with low energy consumption, while affirming that only poor countries face this issue. Engineer Okon stated this during the opening sessions of the Africa Gas Innovation Summit 2024 today in Abuja.
Despite Africa holding 8% of world's proven reserves for gas, it still will remain the most energy poor continent, which is quite unfortunate. And right now, 57% of utilities in sub-Saharan Africa really can't even cover the operating costs. And this is the big problem we see. So when people say why can't Nigeria have so much gas, you can't get the power? The truth is, I've looked at a lot of power investment. The discos, number one, are under recovering the investment. They can't even break even in terms of their basic running costs. Talk less of how do you then attract investment into growing the power sector. Major challenge.
Oko noted that despite Nigeria holding over 8% of the world's proven reserves of natural gas, Africa remains the most energy deficient continent. He pointed out that several challenges contribute to Nigeria's energy poverty, including an insufficient grid system, low tariffs and liquidity, and working capital challenges.
For a 200 million population, I think only the operational power is roughly about 6 gigawatts, 6,000 megawatts. Only 80% of Nigeria electricity comes from the grid, comes from off-grid like diesel, petrol, and we have almost half of our population, 90, you see sometimes 100 million people don't have access to grid electricity. So what are the issues? The issues is pretty much what I tried to articulate on the rightmost part of that chart. A lot of issues. First one is pretty much the grid system is bad, we all know that. Discos can't get enough from the national grid. The tariff is low. We've run a lot of investment cases to make, for you to deliver an IRR around 15%, you have to sell power above 200 naira per kilowatt hour.
Okon, however, outlined the key strategies that could improve Nigeria's power sector, highlighting governance and market reforms for grid power, among other measures, with emphasis on Seplat Energy working towards achieving this. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured that an executive bill on the new national minimum wage for workers will soon be sent to the National Assembly for passage, while affirming that it will approve only what Nigeria can afford to pay as minimum wage. Kabiru Lawal has the details.
President Bola Tinubu has revealed that a consensus has been reached on the long-debated new minimum wage between the federal government and the organized labor. The president stated these while addressing his guest at the dinner to mark the Nigerians' 25th year anniversary of the unbroken democratic rule in Abuja. Meanwhile, the organized labor, reacting to this, has rejected President Bola Tinubu's claim that an agreement had been reached on new national minimum wages in its nationwide broadcast to mark Democracy Day. According to Labour, as at the time negotiations ended on June 7th, there was no agreement reached by the tripartite committee on the national minimum wage. Rather, 250,000 naira from Labour and 62,000 naira from government and organized private sector OPS were arrived at and ought to have been submitted to the president. For Value Chain TV, Kabir Lawal reporting.
The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, has revealed that Nigeria's crude oil production suffered a record decline to 100.25 million barrels per day in May 2024. The group stated that the production data was based on direct communication with Nigerian authorities, member countries, as well as secondary communication such as energy intelligence platforms. This decline in production comes despite reported improvement in the fight against crude oil theft by the pipeline vandalism by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL. Despite the decline, OPEC said the country retained its position as the largest oil producer in Africa, followed by Libya. The federal government is eager to take a step further for Africa's first energy bank to be located in Nigeria. Anastasia Adesi has the report.
In a meeting with envoys of members of the Africa Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, to convince them on why the facility should be located in Africa's biggest oil-producing country, Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Henneken Lokbobiri, expressed that establishing the Africa Energy Bank, AEB, represents a bold and strategic move towards ensuring energy security, fostering economic growth, and promoting sustainable development across Africa. He said Nigeria's bid to host the headquarters of the pivotal institution was a testament to its unwavering commitment to these goals, maintaining that over the past months. Lokbobiri reiterated that by selecting Abuja as its host city, the Africa Energy Bank can serve as a linchpin to connectivity, fostering collaboration and catalyzing progress on a continental scale. Nigeria's rich endowment of oil and gas and renewable energy resources presents an unparalleled opportunity for Africa Energy Bank to harness the continent's vast energy potential and drive sustainable development. For Value Chain TV, Anastasia Adesi reporting.
State governors have called for the refund of their full equity investment in the $10 billion National Integrated Power Project that are under the management of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Ministry of Power confirmed receipt of the document titled Development of the National Integrated Electricity Policy and Strategic Implementation Plan Policy, recommendations by state governments. The governors under the umbrella of Nigeria Governors Forum said the federal government should refund an equitable rate of return on their investment in the power plant. They noted that the refunds of state investment in the NIPPS is without prejudice to the ability of the federal government to privatize or sell the NIPPS. The governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, has said that elected officials should start earning minimum wage as Nigeria is currently unstable. Soludo made the call at the special edition of the platform, an event to facilitate national development by the Covenant Nation. He said Nigeria has become impoverished due to the flamboyant lifestyles of government officials at the expense of the citizens' shared wealth. Soludo stressed that officials should be paid the minimum wage to experience what citizens are facing as the system is currently in denial. The acting zonal director of Benin Zonal Command of the Economics and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ifa Okim, has said that the former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has been shielded by the system. He said this during a familiarization visit to the Delta State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Asaba, Delta State capital. He lamented that the former governor has ridiculed the Nigerian justice system by failing to present himself for trial in court with regards to being accused of 80.2 billion naira fraud. Okim added that the commission respects the law and follows due process. However, its invitation of the law should not be taken for weakness. He called on the media to harmonize, criticize actions and forget about prosecution, assuring them of response from the commission. The development followed an earlier failed attempt to arrest Yahaya Bello and his repeated absence from the court for his arraignment. The EFCC declared Bello wanted, while the Nigerian immigration also placed the governor on a watch list. And that's it on the Value Chain TV News Update. I am S.A. Ufoma. Thanks for watching.